Guys, let's see. All right, we're live. Hey everyone, Todd Cahill here. Welcome to the You versus You show, where we basically talk everything you versus you. And today is Monday. I don't know about you, but man, COVID has made me super busy. I don't dress up, but I have been on the phone all day, just really talking people about vision, helping people and really coaching and transformational leadership and the emotion code and body code. And today we have somebody that is certified in what's called the Emotion Code. He's actually an incredible guy. He's been a client of our Inside Out program for about a month and a half. He's just doing so well. He's stepping into his full power. He's discovering who he really is and really creating massive breakthroughs in his life. And he's from Canada. So we're so excited to have Spencer Bonin on our You versus You show today for the second time. So Spencer, it's good to have you back again, man. Glad you're here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, good stuff. Well, I love what you talked about last time. And then what I want to do is talk a little bit about a clarity. You know, a lot of people are going through ups and downs. And I believe that true happiness is when people get in alignment with their strengths. They find that sweet spot like baseball. And, you know, obviously hitting a home run in Major League Baseball, it's a beautiful thing, 365 yards or 400 yards, whatever it is. But it can't hit the bottom of the bat. It has to hit like the top of the bat, the sweet spot. And we want to talk about your sweet spot today. We want to talk about how you got into this momentum, this confidence that you're building to know your profession, to be able to add value. But you probably had to go through a lot of ups and downs, different businesses or jobs. Or how did you find your sweet spot? Take me through a little bit of that journey.
There's a lot. I've been through quite a few different things throughout my life. You know, I'm 29 years young. I like to think, young. And what have I gone through? Man, I actually sat down and kind of like wrote a list of all the different things that I've tried and gone through in order to kind of figure out what it is that I actually want to do. And, the list is pretty extensive, multiple jobs, multiple different backgrounds, kind of like just exploring the different avenues, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like throughout life, I had tons of jobs. Like I have like my list here. It's like Walmart Photo Lab, Virgin Mobile, Bell Mobility, delivery driver, pipeline,
Mm-hmm.
everything on there, plumbing, cleaning, snow
Mm-hmm.
removal, landscaping, graphic design,
Yeah.
all these different things, I've tried and explored and on top of that, all kinds of other like money making things too, like whether it's like I think I was part of about 4 or 5 different multi-level marketing companies and developing leadership that way.
Did you ever have
Affiliate.
success at that? How'd you do in that, by the way?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, it was never something that, like I always got super attracted to um, the possibility of
Okay.
creating financial freedom and that kind of
Right.
stuff. And the numbers really spoke to me. And the different companies I was with, I think they were very, very good companies, great
Mm-hmm.
products, great everything. But for whatever it is, I at that particular time, and I was learning these lessons as I was going. Obviously, whether someone wants to say maybe someone got burned, it's just I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
that commitment. I didn't have that really. I didn't fully commit to everything that I was doing there because it wasn't something of
Mm-hmm.
my own, and I just feel like I didn't find the right thing.
Yeah.
And I tried these things. I really did. I kind of poked it with a stick for a little bit, hoped
Yeah.
that it would move, but at the end of the day, it helped me associate with great people. It helped me, learn lessons about leadership and reading books and associating with good people and all that kind of stuff. So I had to go through a lot of that, plus a lot of other market money making things. So like going through the different jobs, all the different multi-level marketing companies, going through all these different money making schemes like real estate and stock trading and
Yeah. Yeah.
all these different things.
So how are you aligned? You know, for me, being the industry for 17 years of just people and network marketing and having, I really just come down to everyone has different strengths and very few people on this planet actually even take a strengths test. The strengths test 2.0, you can Google it. I think it's like $20 or $30. And just to kind of know, like when I took that test 5, 6 years ago, I knew that my strength was the same as Steve Jobs. It was futuristic, visionary, which to me, I didn't know that until I took that test that I spent $20, $30, which is great because now I'm like, okay, I can cast the vision. I can follow through on a massive vision. And we have this intuition where, when we're chasing money, when we're chasing opportunity, because we are, let's say, broke, or we're coming from a need, money never chases that energy. Money is energy. But, money's not the priority. Your passion is like, but at the same time, what if someone, and this is the question I have from you, because you can answer this just in your background and what you do with the emotion code. What if somebody is so afraid of pursuing their passion? Maybe it's because their parent said you can never do this, or you come from this kind of background, or this, you don't have the education, or hey, you live in this environment, or whatever. Always the excuse of why they can't live their full passion, their full mission. So what would you say to that person based on your own knowledge? And walk me through that, because I think a lot of us have felt that way, but very few have actually stepped fully into that power and pursued their vision.
Definitely. Well, a couple of things that I would say is, one, just explore different things. So if you found that what you want to do, or what you really, really are passionate about and like doing, but there's something that's maybe holding you back, or like you come up with all these excuses of why you could never, make money doing it, or make that your life's purpose or whatever. Something to really strongly consider is are there different, and this is why I got involved with the emotion code, is like, are there trapped emotions? Are there previous experiences that are holding you back from that? Exactly like you were saying, like your parents, them talking about different things, or maybe they were like really had a huge fight about money or something, and now you're like,
Hmm.
oh, well, maybe money is really bad, or
Hmm.
someone was talking about, or had this crazy incident where your father lost all of their finances and you guys really had to struggle. Like, there's these different events that could happen,
Yeah.
which subconsciously programs you
Yeah.
to not want to even try to go that route. But then there's things that we can do in the emotion code, that we can find those events, release those emotions, and then, as if by magic almost,
Yeah.
it's like the vibration, change the result.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah.
tell me about, you joined our Inside Out transformational leadership program. You already knew that you wanted to be in the emotion code, and I think you even had your certification. And of course, you needed kind of that yellow brick road action, what you charge your clients, what you do. Tell me how that's been in that brief time for you, both on the emotion side of some of our coaching calls with the manual, et cetera, and you having that background, of course, but then also being able to have kind of more structure, time blocking, especially during COVID, where, you told me the other day in our session that if it wasn't for a lot of this, maybe you would just kind of, screw it, just play video games, or you just have fun. But now you've never been more busy and more busy building your dream, even during COVID. How has that felt? If you could elaborate on that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, since doing that, it's like it's focusing on, because yeah, like I come from the subconscious side where I want to do a lot of the subconscious work, the vibration, but without,
Hmm.
that's all great and that's amazing. But at the same time, you also need the conscious side where you're actually physically doing the actions and figuring out what you need to do. Because once you're aligned with your goal of what you want to do, and like your thinking is right, and your subconscious baggage has been removed out of the way, it's like, okay, well, now it's almost like 100%, how do I do this? And then it's like, you just need to block off your time and do all that. Because this whole COVID thing for me, uh, sometimes I like to think it's like this COVID thing happened for me,
Right.
because I, beforehand, it's like, what would I have done? I would have been sitting around playing Animal Crossing all day. I don't know, I still play it every once in a while for sure, but
Okay.
you know don't worry about it.
I'm Googling Animal Crossing. I don't know what that is.
But I mean, I would be spending most of my time doing that
Right.
rather than trying to get a hold of people that haven't talked to about it. Actually doing the action steps required to actually build a business, because, um, you know, taking advantage of the time that we have, because otherwise it's like, we're just going to sit around and twiddle our thumbs and watch the Netflix and,
Yeah.
you know, all that kind of stuff. So did that answer the question, I
Yeah,
think?
it does. And anyone that's watching this on the live or the replay, I feel for people, because okay, so like my perspective is everyone's home right now. And then you have a lot of the salespeople out there. They're all great people. I don't want to mention any names, but even people I look up to, and I'm getting like bombarded by emails. And nothing wrong with sending out emails, et cetera, but it's just like work from home and make money. And the loans, whether it's Canada or America, it's like, okay, the government is giving some business owners loans, and you're lucky if you get $1 of that, honestly. And a lot of people are not getting that money in America. And a lot of people are like, there's unrest, there is but at the same time, if you look at it differently, so what I want to ask you, Spencer, is like, even in my book, You versus You, we talk about the 3 R's. I know you've read my book. Thank you so much for the support on that. You said a lot of great things about it, but the 3 R's, if you remember in each chapter, it's you got to like return to the battle, then you got to redefine it, and then repeat wise choices. So how did you really take maybe your dreams and maybe a month and a half ago, and you finally just said, you know what? I'm done. Screw this. Yes, I'm going to go for it. Talk to me about how you returned to that battle, but then you redefined it, said yes, had the courage, but then not just said yes, because we could say yes to everything, marriage, we could say yes to a marathon and still not finish. We could say yes to a marriage and still get divorced and still quit. But not only saying yes, but staying the course long term. And then eventually how much value that you're going to add to people in this world is going to be unprecedented. So talk to not just me, because obviously I get it, but talk to the person watching this that maybe was a lot like you 2 months ago. How can, and I'm not just here to promote our program. I'm not saying that all should just be an inside out, but what that really means for you and what you can offer advice to them that finally they say yes and follow through on their dreams.
Gotcha. Okay, trying to think of how to answer this question. So there's a lot of stuff that happened with me. I honestly found that this particular book kind of came to me almost as like a oh, it's almost like, for me, it almost feels divine because the way it kind of came about and the way things lined up. And but the thing is throughout my life, I tried so many different things, and I tried this, I tried that, I tried anything like gambling stuff,
Yeah.
money making things, affiliate marketing, like whatever. I made the list before, and I
Mm-hmm.
tried all these things, and I've even tried energy healing beforehand with Best and all that kind of stuff, and it
Okay.
was amazing. But then at a certain point, like I found the emotion code after trying all that failing, learning is how I like to say it.
Yep.
I went through all those different things to learn what I needed to do, and then boom, the emotion code comes in my life. I read the emotion code book, and what I did is I cleared my heart wall, and when I cleared that heart wall,
Mm,
um, it's almost like, well, that's one major part, is by clearing that heart wall, it automatically gives you more clarity on your mission. So that's definitely one thing. But after doing that, it's almost like you can go back to some of the things you did before. So I revisited energetic healing again, but then it was just, I was tired of being I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. It was just, I was kept doing thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. You know, and I was just like, you know what? This stuff, because of the way it's all going down, I've cleared this heart wall. I'm feeling amazing
yeah.
because of it. It's just, I need to do this. And it was a decision that I made because of the previous experiences and exploring all the stuff before. And yes, the heart wall is clearly super amazing, but it was the decision that I made, that I was tired of just waiting around. And it was COVID that kind of sparked that. I was like, I'm done waiting around, and I need to make a decision and just stick to it and keep going to it. So I reframed all that and just kind of went for it. Did
So a
that
lot
answer
of,
your question?
yeah, and a lot of people might be watching this, might not know what the heart wall is. Can you describe what a
Oh,
heart wall is a little bit?
yes, absolutely. So in the emotion code, we deal with these things called trapped emotions. Um, the really cool thing, and why I'm really huge in the emotion code, and as a result of this, is because these trapped emotions, our subconscious mind, because we deal with, in the inside out, we talk about conscious and subconscious. Our subconscious mind, what it does is it actually protects our heart. It puts a layer of these trapped emotions around our heart, like almost like an energetic barrier. But the thing is that it's almost like it blocks off giving and receiving love, which is for me the biggest thing, because I used to suffer from depression, anxiety, stuff like that. So me connecting with other people was really difficult. But
Hmm.
when you graduate, in the book, it talks about following your heart. And if you have this big like Fort Knox barrier on your heart, it makes it so difficult to be able to follow those messages and follow that heart. So what we do in the emotion code is we can actually, it was the greatest discovery in energetic healing by Dr. Bradley Nelson. And you basically break down these energetic walls around your heart, which then you can get clear on your mission. You can get clear on these messages. You can give and receive love so much more effectively, and you can feel connection with other people, and it automatically opens you up to more abundance. So by clearing that out, boom, clarity of mission. You can hear the little messages that kind of come around, and they're saying, hey, go this way, hey, go that way, and you get more clear on that. But it's just, even for like the connection to other human beings alone is so much better, and they're finding it's a massive, massive part of stuff as well, because if they can't give and receive love, then they feel very isolated and like they can't connect with anyone else. So yeah.
That's
So that's
awesome.
what the heart wall is.
Yeah, and from what I found is, like, in my own leadership, helping people grow and making money and starting businesses and being an entrepreneur, a lot of people had the potential. A lot of people could have done it, but they quit, because they just didn't even know like what was holding them back. And it really could have been the heart wall. It could have been, not understanding how to receive, even not just love, but how to receive, success, and maybe even not even knowing how to define success, etc. So how does someone give more effectively, but also being able to receive more effectively?
In which so like after receiving, like releasing the heart wall, or what do you mean?
Yeah, we're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if it's your internet or my internet, but I think a lot of times people don't know how to receive. But at the same time, they might not know how to give, like whether it's just, sharing gratitude, just not, I'm not talking about giving money. I'm just saying, like, sharing gratitude with people. That's giving, right? That's not receiving. You're giving. I'm so grateful for you, Spencer. Thank you so much for being my friend. Sometimes people think it's corny, right? Because of these heart walls. They think it's corny because it's like, it's awkward for them just to give. But then also it's awkward for people to receive. Here's money. Oh, I don't deserve it. Here's a new house. Oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, no, no, no. Here's a new car. Oh, and I don't deserve it. So where do you think a lot of this comes from, when people think it's awkward to give, but also even more awkward to receive?
Absolutely. And that's right there is a perfect example of where the heart wall comes in. Because if you have this heart wall, the little things that you might do to show someone that you love them, if you
Yeah.
have this heart wall and they have a heart wall, you're not going to be able to push out as much energy and that love as much as you'd like to. So I know for myself, lately I've been doing the KPIs of sending out those messages of love. And I was a little bit nervous at first, but then before this, if I did it before I cleared my heart wall, I would have sent these messages out, and people have been like, what the hell is that? Why are you sending me this? But like literally every single person that I've sent these messages to is like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Like, I appreciate you, blah, 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 blah. So, but just by releasing that heart wall, you're immediately able to benefit from giving and receiving more of love. Like, if other people are trying to give you love and you just never received it before, by breaking that wall down, it's like just by default, you pick up on so much more and you receive so much more of that message. And they can feel, they can sense it, because we're both givers and receivers of frequency. So as soon as your heart wall is broken, it's like they already automatically pick up on that, and they can send more love too. So hopefully that answers
That's
that
great.
question.
No, I love that.
Yeah.
And talk to me about energy. Because a lot of times people hear that, it might seem at first a little bit weird, oh, energy, what is that? Meditation, emotion code, body code, but it's really just down to science. I mean, first of all, money's energy, abundance is energy, love is energy, action is energy, we're energy, right? I mean, if you look really deep, this is my hand, but down deep here is the atoms that are energy. So if there wasn't any energy, then I'd be dead, So, well, we are all energy, even though we're human beings and we have faces and noses and eyes, but we're really built through atoms and particles and, energy. So talk to me about someone has bad energy versus good energy, and the difference of success, the difference of happiness, the difference in between joy, when somebody is just, let's do it, as opposed to, oh, I don't know, I can't, I don't know, I'm skeptical. How can we break the habit of being ourselves, so to speak, and really move into a great energy from now on?
Well, the thing is you can do everything better with a good attitude than you can with a bad attitude. So by you releasing trapped emotions or whatever it is, any way you want to do it, whether it's Reiki, best or motion code, body code, whatever, this
Right.
energetic world, that's where everything is coming from. It's your vibration because that's all
Hmm.
we are. We're just exactly what you said. We're just a big old compact version. So we look solid, but if you zoom in, you all you see is the emotion or the atoms, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons, and then ultimately just energy vibrating at different frequencies, which gives you the
Hmm.
difference of a rock or a plant or a desk or whatever.
Yeah.
Everything is energy, even moon rocks. It's all energy. Um,
Hmm.
but if you can release these trapped emotions or these hidden energies, ultimately that positive vibration, anything that you vibrate is what's coming into your life. So if you're constantly vibrating negative, 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 that's all you're going to get. The people that complain the most get way more stuff to complain about. But when it
Mm.
comes to positivity and you are vibrating that kind of energy, that's the stuff that kind of comes into you as well. And you can also do different mindset changes to kind of reframe the situations to make something that is quote negative and look at positive. Because there's been so many times in my life where I think something is absolutely horrible or so what someone would say is horrible, but then I'm like, hey, this is going to work out to my benefit. And then
Hmm.
by you shifting that energy and shifting that, you know, thing there, it ultimately turns it out into your favor otherwise because it's almost like you're changing the way that is thinking. But
Yeah.
with the emotion code, we can kind of strip away some of those past negative experiences that are constantly drawing you to those negative feelings and help shifting it to the life that you actually want to have.
Absolutely. That's so powerful. I mean, I hope a lot of people are getting a lot from this because Spencer, obviously, you have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of knowledge. Obviously, you're certified in the emotion code. What's next for Spencer Bonin? I mean, what are you excited about? What drives you? What are you doing now? Like, what's exciting you about 2020? We hear so many people like 2020 is the worst year ever, and we're not even past the first quarter, but this has probably been a great year for you already. What excites you about the rest of 2020 for you?
Oh man, the possibilities are endless. It's crazy. Like being part of the coaching program and taking action and deciding that I actually want to do this emotion code business has been incredible,
Mm,
and it's really showing me and driving me to create the life that I want with that, to be able to help as many people as possible. So I am so excited to be
hmm.
able to go out there and help the people that can't give and receive love, the people that are maybe struggling with social anxiety or fear of rejection or judgment, people that are suffering from depression, all these other things, or physical pain or whatever. I'm so excited to go out there and help as many people as I possibly can. And even with the Inside Out coaching program, there's opportunity to become involved with that as far as someone is a practitioner from there, obviously meeting specific steps. So then automatic just by default being able to reach many more people that I never even thought possible, to be able to crush as many trapped emotions and heart walls and all that kind of stuff as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that's what's next for me, is just crushing this business, going out to the world is to share this with as many people as I possibly can, and just creating that positive environments and making that positive impact on the world.
Yeah, I
So
mean, we need a lot more Spencers out there. And Spencer, what if somebody is just sitting there feeling a little unworthy, a little unclear? Can anyone be certified as an emotion code practitioner? Like, how does that work? If they're really loving what you're saying, they really understand, hey, I love energy, I get what he's saying, but like, what does that mean for me? Like, how can I not only know what my message is and share that, but how can I even monetize? I mean, even make a living doing this with other people. How does that work?
well, for one thing, literally all you need to do is get this book. Like
Hmm.
that is the first step. It is astoundingly amazing. There's a
Hmm.
lot of self-help books out there that talk about positivity and all that kind of stuff. It's all great, like Think and Grow Rich, Power of Positive Thinking, all those kinds of things. This is like full on, talks about energy, talks about the universe, and but gives you everything step by step, flow charts, how to muscle test, how to do everything. Everything is in this book that you need. He designed it in such a way that it's like anyone, even like children, could come into this book, read this book, learn how to do it, and work with anyone around the world. It's
And
it,
and
it
and who did the forward? I forget his name. Who was the guy that did the forward?
Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins. I think I heard of him. He does the I'm Not Your Guru, right, on Netflix.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the number one coach in the world. By the way,
Yeah.
Tony doesn't do any forwards on any books.
No.
Very, very rare. And that was recently. So it was written in 2007, and it was a lot smaller, about 100 pages smaller, or thinner. And that's the revised. You buy it on Amazon. I know our coaching group. You versus you. My book is more of the conscious side. Then you got the Emotion Code, which is the subconscious side. Then we got Emotion Code and Body Code Practitioner. So the Body Code is kind of within the Emotion Code. And I know we both work with one of the top practitioners in the world with Inside Out. That's why it's Inside Out. So it's both the subconscious and conscious combined.
Yeah.
And no one's ever doing this. I mean, I've been on, I feel like I'm 19, I feel like it's 1976 and I'm part of Steve Jobs in his garage in Northern California, building, one of the first Apple computers, trying to beat IBM. So it's pretty kind of incredible what we're all a part of. And it's people like you who got certified, made a decision. That's what I put in my notes. What you talked about, you made a decision. And I think that, since you made a decision, like things are popping for you, things are going. Life is part of making decisions. We have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. We have a lot of thoughts every day, but some of these thoughts are really good thoughts that people have. They're just afraid to make a decision because they're afraid of failure. A lot of people are afraid of success. Well, what if this doesn't happen? Well, what if this does happen? More money, more problems. Maybe I'll just stay broke. But here's the bottom line. We all need to be rich. We all need to strive to be wealthy, rich in spirit, rich in money, rich in profession, because you can't help anyone when you're poor. You can't help anyone when you have nothing. You can't help anyone when you're in need. Please, I need help. Please help me. You all need to get rich in anything that you do. And I think part of getting rich is not so much going after money. Like Think and Grow Rich is a great book, like you said, but it's really understanding what is holding you back emotionally first and foremost. How can you partner with someone like a Spencer who can really help heal you from the inside out? And then also, how can you take massive action on your dreams? Because eventually people are going to need you and your help and your skill set because you're rich and now what you do because you're actually taking action and really focused and very consistent. So Spencer, how has it been for you being very consistent? And do you feel like you're in momentum now that you made that decision? Do you feel like life is different? Do you feel more happier, more joyful? What are some of the feelings that are coming up for you?
Yeah, well, and to be totally authentic too, like, yes, I've been feeling super, it's like elation. It's like I feel like I have a purpose. I'm going through, I'm doing what I can, and I'm getting energized because I'm doing my,
Mm-hmm.
basically my life's work. Like, this is what I want to do. And so by doing that, you feel energized, you're doing the things you need to do, and the days are just flying by like crazy. I will say there definitely is days where you feel a little bit down. Like, I won't lie. Like, and I'll be 100% authentic. There are days where I'm like, man, I'm doing a lot here, and I need to like slow down or chill out for a bit or watch a Netflix show or
Yeah.
something.
And that's
But
okay. That's good. We all need that for sure.
yeah, and the thing is, I think one really important thing is like in any venture you do, there's always going to be crap. No matter what, there's going to be some sort of crap, but it's just a matter of like, what kind of crap are you willing to deal with? Because for me, if I get to help people out and all around the world and give people their life back because their back pain's gone and they can walk properly and they don't have anxiety or depression anymore, but sure, maybe I have to like wake up a little bit earlier or go to bed later or like
Yep.
whatever. I'm willing to go through some of that crap to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was watching the docu-series about Michael Jordan yesterday. We'll kind of close with this. It's like,
Mhm.
it's crazy because he was so successful and he still is, but he couldn't even go out of his hotel room. And there was a kind of a filming back 20 something years ago where he couldn't even leave his hotel room. He said, you don't want to be like this. No, I don't want this life anymore. And I wrote about Justin Bieber in my book, You Versus You. It's like, if you want to be famous, you want to be rich, you want to be wealthy, but a lot of these people can't even go out of their hotel room. They can't even go out of their house without being bombarded constantly, living in the public eye. So we have to be careful of what we really want compared to what society thinks we should want, but really being fulfilled, even if it's 50,000 a year, even if it's 100 grand, whatever it is, knowing that you're doing your life's mission and purpose. And some of it might come with things that you don't like. I'm sure Jordan got sick and tired, which he did, of the public eye and always trying to live up to that perfect, reputation. But you know what? He loved the game of basketball and he loved playing. So there's going to be 90% of it, you're going to love it. 10%, you're not going to like it, but the 90% sure outweighs the 10. But imagine being 84% in America. They did an AP poll last year. 84% of Americans hate their job. So that's not living in the 10% of I don't like, 90% I love. That's 84% of your life you don't like. So obviously, what can you say in closing to, you said, well, I did this, I tried this. Well, what's your best advice for somebody that maybe they don't have to try 8, 9, 10, 11 different things, maybe like you did? Can they compress timeframes at all? Can you maybe give them some insight there? Or does everyone really kind of have to go through their own journey in a way?
Honestly, like a lot of people do have to go through their own journey. Absolutely. Because some people, they have something where it's like, yep, that's the thing I want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
they make it their life's purpose to like do that. And that's fine. That wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
That was absolutely not
Right.
me. But it's a matter of going through life and trying things out because you need to learn and gather knowledge and experience to find out what you like, what you don't like, and what you do like. Because the more you gather of what you don't like, the more it is that you can birth clarity from that and figure out what you do like. And then you
Mm-hmm.
can go through and do all that. But I mean, an amazing way, like I said kind of earlier in this thing, is that heart wall. If you have a heart wall or if you have trapped emotional baggage, you can release that to kind of help guide you in the right way. And that heart wall is going to be a massive thing for that because it's going to give you that clarity on your mission anyways. And you're going to be able to get that those little messages and you're going to be able to follow that beam, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
that much easier. So I would say that is a really good starting place. But yeah, it's just a matter of exploring. If you find something you really like, or if that interests you, like follow that little thing and
Mm-hmm.
then explore it.
I love
Yeah.
that. Well, we're out of time, my friend. Amazing wisdom. Thanks so much for being on today. I mean, you've added a
Thank
lot
you.
of value, and we're talking about things that matter. On the show, You Versus You, we're not talking about the surfacey crap and personal growth is good, but there's a lot of surfacey stuff in personal development. We want to dive in deep of how people can find their passion, their mission, their calling. And I think if anything that COVID has done for people all across the world in all countries that have suffered because of it, is give people perspective. And if COVID hasn't given you the right perspective of slowing down a little bit, life is super short. People have died. Thousands and tens of thousands of people have passed away because of it. What are we doing here? If we're not doing what we love, we're wasting time. We have to live in that moment, seize the moment, carpe diem, go after it. And that's exactly what you're doing. So I commend you, and I commend
Thank
all
you.
of those that are watching this to go do what you are meant to do. And if you don't know that specifically, hey, inbox Spencer and he can help you and not only get emotion code sessions, maybe he does a session for you for free so you can see what it's all about. You can definitely hire him. His pricing is absolutely, can I say, ridiculous in a crazy good way, like affordable and unbelievable. I mean, we're talking better than I think a therapist. I mean, it's unbelievable. So, get with Spencer. He can help you. He can encourage you, but he can also show you like why are you in the place that you are and how to really get out of that and be your best self. And that's what really transformation is all about. So Spencer, thanks so much for dialing in from Canada. Thanks so much for being an awesome guy. And thanks so much for adding so much value today.
Thank you so much for having me. I
All right,
appreciate
guys.
it.
We'll see you tomorrow for our new guest speaker tomorrow night on the You Versus You show. Thanks so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes.